Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk ZeZe, Millz and Madam Joyce and the whole tea around that. Now, as we're all aware, Natalie Nunn has come to the UK and she's gone on both of their podcasts. Have I watched the interviews? No, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the highlights where Natalie Nunn is basically complimenting Madam Joyce for her setup and throwing shade at ZeZe Millz allegedly about ZeZe Millz' setup and her just having a curtain and whatever the weather. And
like, that's a baddie. Like, a dead ass. It wasn't, I mean, I don't want to throw shade on the last one. I'm not going to do that. The set is set.
What was wrong with the last one? What was wrong with the last set?
That's why I don't like doing these podcasts, because now I look like I'm being messy and talking. It was like a curtain hanging up.
Oh.
But it's okay. It was still cute. But it wasn't like purple couch, cocktail bar, spin the globe. We still like, you know, like you got a whole, this is a baddies. You get a baddie chain. You got your baddie chain.
Thank you.
You got your baddie chain. It's giving baddie. It's giving bad.
it's just like people are going to feel how they want to feel. Even with me, I'm a picky person. And sometimes I feel more comfortable in certain environments than others. And I just feel like Natalie Nunn, you see, when it comes to like social media or just even in real life, it's important to be true to yourself. And that's what Natalie's doing, isn't it? She is saying exactly how she feels. And that's that. But I just feel like throughout this whole situation, it's very bizarre how Natalie has come all the way from the US, stirred the pot a bit, if you like to call it that, or she's made a comment about the way that she feels, whatever the weather, and nobody's had nothing to say to Natalie. And I just find it crazy. And it's given typical UK energy, like the bad vibes, negativity, and selective energy. That's how the UK is. And I'm speaking from somebody that lives and that's been born and raised in the UK. I feel like everybody is selective, nobody supports each other, and everyone's got the crabs in the bucket mentality, and it's just so difficult to get to places. Now, leading to my next point, with ZeZe Millz, I feel like she has the right to feel how she wants to feel. She has the rights to feel how she feels. So if she's offended, which it is evident that she is, because she's responded, she's done a few tweets, whatever the weather, then it's understandable, because to be on social media, to create content and put yourself out there and to maintain a position in the spotlight, it's very difficult. And people that don't do content can comment and have opinions and say this and say that, but it is actually very difficult to go on camera, put yourself out there and have all these opinions and sometimes go through the backlash and whatever. So I feel like she definitely has a right to feel, if she's offended, then she has a right to feel that way, because let's be real here, like, we don't like when people talk about us. Do you know what I mean? So that's that. But I just feel like she should have gone about it a different way. Why has she not got anything to say to Natalie or about Natalie? And another thing that was in my mind, with Natalie, she is a part of Baddies. That's her brand. And even before that, she was a part of the Bad Girls Club. And that's kind of ghetto. Do you know what I mean? The whole franchise, everything is ghetto. And ZeZe Millz, she's had so much to say to people in the past from the ghetto, like from the hood, the streets, on her interviews. And even if it's not directly, the way her body language, facial expressions, the way that she interviews them, she has energy for people from the UK. So why is there no energy for Natalie Nunn? Natalie Nunn is from the hood. What she does is ghetto. So it's just like, there's so much things that she can say in this moment whilst it's all going down, if you get what I mean. With Madam, there was also a comment, like she was basically accusing Madam Joyce of being obsessive.
We don't chat to each other and we leave it at that. But you do all these sly things since we stopped talking. And again, what I just don't understand is what this obsession is if people trying to pop my shit down. I don't even understand why this is a discussion.
I don't think it's given obsessed. I just feel like Madam Joyce interviewed Natalie Nunn. Natalie Nunn is a boss. She's got baddies. She's known worldwide, whatever. So why wouldn't you want to interview Natalie Nunn? especially if you're doing social media. That's number one. Number two, she can't control what Natalie Nunn says. We can't control what people say. So if Natalie Nunn has made the dig at ZeZe, then ZeZe, as I said before, should directly speak, either call out or contact Natalie Nunn directly, and that's just that. So I don't feel like MJ is obsessive at all. It's just a situation that happened. Now, I watched Madam Joyce for the first time yesterday, the video that she done on her YouTube channel, and she done a full breakdown of what's happened between her and ZeZe in the past and what's going on now.
I don't like people that throw stones and then hide their hands. ZeZe Millz, you have built a whole career of undermining, berating, insulting, being horrible and nasty, and being a villain in people's stories. So how dare you come and sit here and talk about, oh yeah, but I didn't even say any bad thing about her. Yeah, you didn't say anything bad about me today on that day, but there has been plenty of times on the internet where you have used opportunity to dogpile me, and you have used opportunity that when you see people coming for me, you two have to jump on the bandwagon. Don't be playing that game. ZeZe, we know you. I don't know if you're trying to do a rebrand or something.
And I felt like it was very informative. Like, it's very insightful. It just gave me a deeper insight into Madam Joyce, like the dramas that they've had, because I don't know who Madam Joyce is. It was my first time watching her yesterday. I have seen her around in the industry, as in like the blogs, the Shade Borough, but there's a lot of people that I don't really know like that, because with the UK cult, it's not my thing to watch. The only thing I watch is EastEnders and then Love Island. Before I was into like, what's the last season that I watched? Molly and Tommy. That's the last proper Love Island that I've watched. So, and then other than that, I watch Zeus and Netflix and American shows. So I don't really know a lot of people. I don't really watch a lot of people from the UK. And when it comes to past situations between ZeZe and MJ, I can't comment on that because I weren't there to see it. But one thing that stood out to me was when MJ said that ZeZe Millz, she's trying to do this like nice girl thing, like switch it up now when she has built her career on, I can't remember quote unquote what Madam Joyce said, but in other words, tearing people down. And I have to agree with what she's said, because I don't watch ZeZe Millz religiously, but the interviews that I have come across, like the one with Rimsey, the other one with Gassed Up Lighties, and just a few interviews I've seen, that when it comes, even the one with Miss R Fabulous, I'm sure Miss R Fabulous was on there as well. She's done a few interviews, and it's like when people come from a background that she doesn't understand or that she's not from, her facial expressions, body language, and the things she says shows that she more or less, she kind of like thinks she's better than people. Like, you come from that. How can you think that's acceptable? How can you think that's okay? Like the energy that she gives. Do you get what I mean? And I just feel like as a host, if you bring someone on your show, celebrity or not, whether it's somebody that's trending at the time, whatever the weather, it should be to give a deeper insight into who they are, why they do what they do, or whatever the main purpose is for you to bring them on the show is. Do you know what I mean? Not to tear people down or to look down on them, because it's very annoying. Just like the interview that we saw with, I can't even remember the host name, but the UK Thanos, how UK Thanos first came out, yeah, and she done the interview with the girl, and the girl was like belittling her. I'm sure her name is Midnight or something like that. And it was just very unprofessional. Do you know what I mean? The way she done that, she kept trying to throw digs at UK Thanos.
Do you not feel any shame when you're talking about these things online? Like,
Do you not feel any shame?
What would I feel shame about?
It's like everyone sins in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I sin in daylight.
But my sin is in the darkness, so I wouldn't have the shame.
But you know that within yourself, and God knows that. So do you not feel any shame?
I do, but it's not online.
What have you done in your life?
I wouldn't say that online. That's the whole point. My point is, with you're coming online and speaking about...
But what do guys know about you?
What do you mean?
Like men you may have been with in the past.
Mm-hmm.
What do they know about you?
Whatever they know is between me and them.
Well, is it? Because they go and tell their friends, which is exactly why I went out at Malachi.
Yeah, but whatever I've discussed with whoever I've been with and they've told their friends, it's not being discussed by over 10 million people online.
Yeah, but that could easily happen. Say that person went and told one of their friends and their friends did a story time on TikTok and it's about you. That could easily blow up.
But they wouldn't know it's about me.
Well, they could if they said your name.
Basically, to answer this question, you have no shame.
Why do you keep saying that?
I'm asking you a question.
It's like you're trying to get a rise out of me.
What do you mean?
It's like you're trying to provoke me.
I'm not trying to provoke you. I'm just trying to ask and articulate the fact that you ain't got
attacking me
shame.
because you're old?
Old?
Like, your generation wouldn't really understand my generation. We're very far apart.
Okay.
I read somewhere you're like 48.
48. Well, I look damn good for 48, if that's
You
the
do.
case.
I'll give you that. You do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that after rave, when you was 18, you was probably getting fuck out behind bins.
You don't know me, so I'm going to excuse myself.
Need to know you.
I'm going to excuse myself
Remember,
for a sec.
you need me here.
Okay. That's fine, darling.
Slay gooders. Give it to them.
I'm sorry.
Cougar. Everyone wants to attack me. Like, see, she's walked out her own interview. This is the Tamello show now. Thanos of the UK ran the host off her own platform, babe.
And then UK Thanos just tore her apart, literally. And I think that's how she even got bigger, just from doing that, just from checking her. And yeah, man, I just feel like as a host, why are you bringing people on your show to tell them, to belittle them? What is that shouldn't be the purpose of that. And it also reminds me of people in real life. You see, like when people, they come to you to ask you your business or have a conversation with you to get information or whatever the weather, and then they try and belittle you throughout the conversation. So they'll be asking you questions and they'll be side-eyeing you or questioning you like, oh, you think that's what you think, or you think that's okay, or they make like sly comments. If you know, you know, innit? That's what it reminds me of. And I don't like people like that. I don't like when people come from a certain angle where it's like they always have something to say and the questions that they're asking or the conversation that they're having is never genuine. It's just, they're being like cunning and sly. I've got another call, but I don't like people that are cunning and sly. And yeah, I just don't like stuff like that. So within this whole situation, man, I just feel like, yeah, if you're not going to address Natalie, just be quiet type thing. But I don't know, hopefully the girlies nip it in the bud soon. Let me know your thoughts about this situation between ZeZe and Natalie Nunn, and ZeZe Millz and Madam Joyce, sorry. And yeah, comment below. I want to hear everybody's opinions about this, who was right, who was wrong, and just your thoughts. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share. Bye.
So ZeZe Millz and Madam Joyce were having a little back and forth earlier on Twitter today. This actually stemmed from some tweets that ZeZe had put out there on the back of the whole 90s baby show incident. I already did a separate video on that. So ZeZe wrote this tweet saying that black people write think pieces all day about how we don't get grace from other people and we often get harsh ramifications. Yes, we should hold people accountable, but at what point does it go from holding people accountable to dogpiling? So then Madam Joyce retweeted it saying, I love and respect you, ZeZe, but this statement is not consistent with your actions. I was dogpiled by the internet not too long ago, and you further fueled the fire by making a video. Considering we share the same space as black women, you did not extend that grace to me. Madam Joyce is referring to a clip that went viral of her last year where she was on a podcast and they were talking about broke men in London, or stingy men. And I remember actually doing a video on this, and I was saying at the time that I didn't understand why people were going on Madam Joyce. You got the people that were weighing in the comment section in Shade Borough and on Twitter saying that they're basically tired of this topic. But there were also a few content creators that weighed in and gave their 2 cents, La Vida Loca as well, one of them being ZeZe Millz. Now, I can't lie, I don't agree with a lot of ZeZe Millz' takes. I don't agree with her stance in what she was initially tweeting about that led to this with the whole 90s baby show incident. I said that in my original video too. But with this issue with Madam Joyce, I actually do see both sides on this one. With Madam Joyce's side, I listen to Cocktails and Takeaways quite a lot. And if you listen religiously, you'll also know that Madam Joyce has had a really tough time lately. Ever since she went on that reality show, I think it was hosted by Foot Asylum with Tennessee and Ash Holm, I didn't really see anything about this show. until the incident with Angry Ginge came about, which is what led to all of the online bullying and all of the backlash she got. And since then, she's really not been doing that well. Like, you can tell listening to her show, her spirit has just kind of dwindled, and you can tell she's just really going through it and not been taking it well. And I really feel it for her. And this backlash with this clip happened just after that. And just before it all happened, she had ZeZe Millz on her show as a guest, and she literally brought this up and told her how she wasn't doing well with this situation, which is exactly what she's speaking to when she says, quite similar to you being in my show 2 weeks prior, sipping and kikiing with me, to then jumping on the bandwagon and further pushing the hate. So I think from Joyce's standpoint, given that she just met ZeZe in person and told her how she felt about all this backlash that came just before, and then for this clip to go viral and then she gets more backlash right afterwards, I think she would have just expected her maybe not to weigh in and, you know, add more fuel to the fire, like she said, which I do understand. But then I can also see things from ZeZe's side as well, where she said, the difference is you put a video out, which you know will become a talking point. It was an open discussion on the internet. This is not an open discussion. They did wrong. They apologized. Why are we still shouting at them? I do see the point that she's trying to make in the sense that this incident with the 90s baby show is not an open discussion. Like, it's not up for debate whether or not they were wrong. She's just talking about their reaction and whether it's appropriate, which I feel like she still shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, you're policing their reaction, which you don't really have a right to do, but that's neither here nor there. Whereas the video of Madam Joyce, even though Madam Joyce did correct it that it's not a video, it's a clip that went viral, it did go viral stemming off of that conversation and then became a trending topic, and she was just weighing in on that trending topic, and she actually didn't even address Madam Joyce in her video. So I totally get why ZeZe would feel like, what the hell, that was not a dog pile. But then this is where ZeZe lost me, and I would have handled this totally different from her, because I understand she might feel some type of way at this point because Madam Joyce put this online, but I just really didn't like this. I think it wasn't nice. Joyce, we are not friends. I came on your show because you're a young black woman doing your thing and I respect it. Your video went viral, and like I've been doing for the past 5 years, I gave my opinion. Just because I came on your show doesn't make you exempt. I understand the last part, but I feel like once you now know and understand that this girl's feelings are hurt off of that, you could have handled this a much better way. She could have said, you know what? That's a little bit strange, different energy than when I last saw you, but it genuinely wasn't my intention to make you feel like I was dogpiling on you at that time. I was just weighing in on a trending topic. I'm really sorry if my video added to all of this heat that you had on you at the time, and I'm really sorry if I hurt your feelings. Because it's like she said, she's been doing this 5 years, so it's very likely that she can brush these situations off a lot easier than Madam Joyce can at this stage, because she's still kind of new in comparison to ZeZe anyway. I just felt like ZeZe could have still addressed those exact same points, being nicer about it and actually trying to understand where Madam Joyce was coming from instead of completely dismissing her feelings like that. I didn't like that. And I actually hate that Madam Joyce is feeling this way, which is why I would have handled it much better than this if I was ZeZe. But hey, those are just my thoughts, child.